So all of you, can you see the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, in today's lecture, we will discuss about two power plants, two sources of energy and their conversion into electrical energy. We will discuss about geothermal energy, we will discuss about geothermal power plant, and then we will discuss about wind power plant. Can anyone tell me what we do in case of a geothermal power plant? Yes. What do you mean by geothermal energy? What is meaning of the word geo? Yes, can you hear
Surface of
me?
the earth.
Yes.
Surface.
Earth is also called as geo, right? And thermal means heat. So whatever heat is there, which is stored inside earth, we will utilize that heat, and using that heat, we will generate electricity, right? Now, see, geothermal energy is the heat derived within the surface or subsurface of the earth, right? It may be water or steam, right, which is stored in the subsurface of earth that is utilized to generate electrical energy. See, I will share the notes so that the concept will be more clear to you. Now see, you have to, in your exam, you have to explain the working of a geothermal power plant, right? Now see, the magma heats water which is present inside the earth and increases the temperature greater than 182 degrees Celsius. So in the subsurface, whichever water comes in contact with magma, that will get heated and the temperature is very high. It is as high as more than 182 degrees Celsius, right? So a good amount of heat energy is there, which is inside the magma, and it is given from magma to water. Now see, this hot water, which is at a temperature more than 182 degrees Celsius, can be piped to the surface of earth through hot water wells. Through hot wells, through hot water wells, we can pump this water, right, from the subsurface to surface, right? Using piping, we can pump it. Okay, we can bring the water from subsurface to surface. Now see, the steam from the hot water is separated. Now see, whatever that will come to the surface of earth, that may be a combination of steam and water, or that can be pure steam as well, right? Whatever comes at the surface of earth, it can be dry steam. Dry steam means a steam in which there is no moisture content, or it can be wet steam. Wet steam means steam which contains moisture content. So it can be pure steam, that is dry steam, or it can be a combination of steam and moisture. Now if there is, that steam is containing moisture, then we can separate that moisture, we can separate the water content, and we can give the steam to steam turbine. Tell me what happens in a steam turbine? Yes,
Heat energy converted into mechanical energy.
Mechanical energy.
correct. Heat energy gets converted into mechanical energy. And see, that turbine is coupled with a generator. So what will happen in that generator?
Mechanical energy
energy.
converted into electricity.
Very good. Mechanical
Converted.
energy will get converted into electrical
Electrical
energy.
energy.
Very good. So this is simple concept. See, we will bring that water plus steam from subsurface to surface, right? We'll separate that moisture content and we'll provide that steam to a steam turbine. In the steam turbine, there will be a conversion of thermal energy or heat energy into mechanical energy. That turbine will be coupled with a generator which will convert that mechanical energy into electrical energy. This is the simple working of a geothermal power plant. Now see, a generator is coupled to the turbine which will also start rotating and it will produce electricity, right? See, there is a YouTube video, this we'll see afterwards. Initially we'll see these concepts. Now see, there are three types of geothermal power plants. Before starting the types of geothermal power plants, tell me, is this concept clear to you? Is this concept clear to you?
Sir.
So there is magma which is present inside the earth that will heat the water and the temperature of water will become more than 182 degrees Celsius. This hot water, right, or a mixture of moisture and steam will, using piping, we can pump it from subsurface to surface. Now, when the steam comes at the surface, this steam is given to a steam turbine. If this steam is containing moisture content, that moisture content will be separated and dry steam will be given to a steam turbine. Can anyone tell me why only dry steam is given to a steam turbine? Why not wet steam is given to a steam turbine? Even if I have not taught you what is dry steam, what is wet steam, right? But see, from the name, can you guess what will be dry steam and what will be wet steam? Dry steam म्हणजे काय असेल रे? What do you think? मी आता मगाशी बोलता बोलता सांगितलं तुम्हाला स्टीमचे ऍक्च्युअली 3 प्रकार असतात. देर आर 3 टाइप्स ऑफ स्टीम्स: ड्राय स्टीम, वेट स्टीम and superheated steam. We'll not discuss about superheated steam. Let us discuss only about dry steam and wet steam. It is very simple. What do you think? Yes. At least try. Okay, tell me, moisture contents will be present in which steam?
Wet steam.
Excellent. And moisture content in the dry steam will be 0. There will not be any moisture content in the dry steam. Dry means which is purely dry. There are no moisture contents. So it is very simple. The steam in which there are moisture contents is called as wet steam, and the steam in which there is no moisture is called as a dry steam. Nakki clear hai sagarna? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, if wet steam is given to steam turbine, what will happen? So moisture will enter inside the turbine. So there will be erosion and corrosion of turbine blades. Tell me, to some extent, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
dry steam is given to the steam turbine. So we have to separate moisture particles. See, if I give you wet steam, and if you separate moisture particles, it will become dry steam. It is as easy as that. If I give you wet steam, and if you separate out moisture content, it will become dry steam. I believe that the concept is clear to you. Now see that steam is given to steam turbine, dry steam, and that dry steam drives the steam turbine, due to which there is conversion of heat energy into mechanical energy. And see, that turbine is coupled with a generator which converts that mechanical energy into electrical energy. Now see, there are 3 types of geothermal power plant: dry steam power plant, flash steam power plant, and binary cycle power plant. We'll see one by one. Now see, if the temperature is very high, right? Let's say that temperature is at least 150 degrees Celsius, then there will be dry steam, right? Whatever steam we are pumping, whatever that will come out of this piping, that will be dry steam. So we doesn't need a separator. We do not need a separator, right? So if the temperature is above 150 degrees Celsius, directly we will go for a dry steam power plant. So directly that steam is given to the turbine. त्याच्यामध्ये जर मॉइश्चर कंटेंटच नसतील तर सेपरेट करण्याची गरज नाहीये, फ्लॅशिंग करण्याची गरज नाहीये. सो इफ इट इज ड्राय स्टीम, if the steam available is dry steam, we'll go for a dry steam power plant. Okay, now see, in a dry steam power plant, direct steam from geothermal reservoir is used to turn the turbine and generator to produce electricity. So from production well, see the place from where this steam is pumped is called as production well, and after using, the place where the water is injected or rejected is called as injection well. So in a geothermal power plant, there are 2 wells. Which are those? The place from where energy is taken, the place from where steam is taken is called as, what is the name? Can you read this name?
Production well.
Excellent. It is called as production well. जिथून आपण स्टीम घेतो त्या वेलला आपण काय म्हणतो? प्रोडक्शन वेल. आणि जिथं आपण युटिलायझेशन झाल्यानंतर स्टीमचं, जिथं आपण स्टीम किंवा वॉटर रिजेक्ट करतो, दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज, कॅन यू रीड दिस वन?
Injection well.
Injection well.
Yes, very good. Injection well. So in all types of geothermal power plant, these two wells will be there: production well and injection well. The place from where it is taken is production well, and the place where it is rejected is called as injection well. Now see, the steam is taken from production well. As the temperature is above 150 degrees Celsius, it is dry steam. So directly this dry steam is given to the steam turbine, where this dry steam expands over the turbine blades, which causes rotation of the turbine shaft. So there is generation of mechanical energy, and this turbine is coupled to a generator which will convert this mechanical energy into electrical energy. So tell me, is the working of a dry steam power plant clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see here the temperature should be at least 150 degrees Celsius. Now tell me, if the temperature is 60 degrees Celsius, can I use dry steam power plant?
No, sir.
No, at 60 degrees Celsius there will not be dry steam, right? Okay, then if the steam is dry steam, I will use a dry steam power plant. If the steam is wet steam, I will use this. I will use flash steam power plant, right? Now see, in flash steam power plant, high pressure hot water from deep inside the earth is taken out, right, and is collected in a steam separator. This flash tank is nothing but steam separator, right? So if there is wet steam, that wet steam is taken from the production well, and in the flash tank, which is also called as steam separator, right, moisture content is separated from the steam, right, and remaining dry steam is given to the steam turbine. So tell me, when this dry steam is given to the steam turbine, what will happen? Yes, what happens in a turbine?
Turbine gets erosion.
See, try to understand. We are trying to understand the difference between a dry steam geothermal power plant and flash steam geothermal power plant. Can anyone tell me what is the difference? In which case you will go for flash steam power plant, and in which case you will go for a dry steam power plant? Yes. See, if there is dry steam, let's say the steam is above 150 degrees Celsius, so directly dry steam is there. So directly this steam will be given to turbine. But if the temperature is less, let's say that temperature is 90 degrees Celsius, so it is wet steam. So what we have to do? Can I give this steam directly to turbine? No, because as one of the students just now said, there will be erosion and corrosion of turbine blades. So what I have to do? Yes, what we have to do? If it is a wet steam, can we give that wet steam directly to the turbine?
No.
No. So to separate the moisture from the steam, what we have to do? We have to use a flash tank. Can anyone tell me what is the function of a flash tank?
Separate
Flash
the
tank.
To
moisture
remove
from
the
steam.
Yes.
Remove moisture.
Excellent. Remove moisture from the steam. Now, when we remove moisture from the steam, the remaining steam is dry steam. When moisture is removed from the wet steam, it becomes dry steam. And now see, that dry steam is given to the steam turbine. That dry steam is given to the steam turbine, which this turbine is coupled with generator. So this turbine will convert enthalpy, that is heat energy, into mechanical energy, and this generator will convert that mechanical energy into electrical energy. So tell me honestly, is this concept clear to you?
Yes, sir.
So we have seen two power plants. We have seen two geothermal power plants. One is a dry steam power plant and one is flash steam power plant. There is a difference of only one component, and which is that component? Yes. ड्राय स्टीम पॉवर प्लांट मध्ये आणि फ्लॅश स्टीम पॉवर प्लांट मध्ये एकच कॉम्पोनंट वेगळा असतो. तो कोणता वेगळा कॉम्पोनंट असतो?
flash tank.
Flash
Excellent. Flash tank. And what is the function of that flash tank?
Remove
To
moisture
remove the
from
moisture.
steam.
Excellent. Very good. To remove the moisture. So here moisture is removed, steam is given to this turbine, and after usage, steam is injected inside the injection well. See, this is production well from where steam is pumped, right? And this is injection well where steam is rejected. Actually, we don't reject steam, we extract heat from this, we convert this into water, and then we reject this water inside the injection well. Okay. So we have seen two power plants. Which are those? Yes,
Dry steam power plant and
Dry
flash
steam
steam
and
power
flash
plant.
steam power plant.
very good. Dry steam power plant and flash steam power plant. If the temperature is above 150, we'll go for dry steam power
Dry
plant.
steam power.
If the temperature is in between 80 to 150, we will go for flash steam power plant. And if the temperature is less than 80, we'll go for binary cycle power plant. Now we'll see binary cycle power plant. Now see, this is binary cycle power plant. Now I expect you to tell me, being an engineer, just look at the figure and tell me how it works. Initially tell me which are the different components. What is the name? Just read this name.
Turbine.
Production well.
Production well.
Very good. This is production well. So it is a place from where the steam or hot water, the hot water will be pumped from here, right? And that hot water will be rejected over here. So which is this name?
Production
Reinjection.
well.
See, in some books it is called as reinjection well, but we will call it as injection well. In majority of the books, it is named as injection well. So this is production well and this is injection well. Okay. Now see, this is a heat exchanger. Right? This is a heat exchanger. Figure बघून कोणाला explain करता येईल का? I want now you to answer. I want you to think. Just look at the figure, look at the arrows. You already know the concept of different components, like you know the function of turbine, you know the function of generator, you know the function of condenser, you know the function of heat exchanger, you know the function of pump, you know the function of cooling tower. Now tell me, I want you to explain me the working of binary cycle power plant. Yes, who will try? See, I can continue this beat in 2 minutes. I can complete this beat in 2 minutes. I can just tell you how it works. But see, as an engineer, our brain should get developed. It is not only the memory that will work. We have to improve your IQ. We have to work on our intelligence. So if I see a figure, if I already know the how the two different geothermal power plants like dry steam power plant and flash steam power plant works, I must be in a position to look at this figure and give a thought that how this binary cycle power plant will be working. Tell me, this is a heat exchanger. So what happens in a heat exchanger?
Coolant rejects heat and water absorbs heat.
Excellent, excellent, very good. Now see, let's call this as coolant. Let's say coolant is pumped from the production well and coolant is rejected to the injection well. Now see, in the heat exchanger, this coolant will reject heat to the water, due to which this blue color indicates water, this red color indicates steam. So this water will get converted into steam, right? Now, this steam is given to steam turbine. So what happens in a steam turbine?
Heat energy is converted into mechanical energy.
Excellent. Heat energy is converted into mechanical energy. Okay. So here heat energy is converted into mechanical energy, and due to which there is production of mechanical work. Now see, this turbine is coupled to this generator. What is the function of this generator?
Mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy.
Excellent. Mechanical energy gets converted into electrical energy. Now see, output of the turbine is given to a condenser. So what will happen in the condenser?
Steam get condensed.
Condenser into water.
Steam will get converted into water. And here there is a pump. So what is the function of the pump?
Supply water to boiler.
Yes, supply water to heat exchanger or pump the water from condenser to heat exchanger. This is a cooling tower. What is the function of this cooling tower? Yes, cooling tower is used to cool the water. It converts hot water into cold water. Because when you circulate water through a condenser, this water absorbs heat, right? And its temperature increases. So this hot water is get converted into cold water inside a cooling tower. Now see, only difference is that here, this coolant is nothing but water. Which is the coolant? Here steam is pumped and it gets converted into water. And here, instead of water, in this secondary cycle, we use a liquid which is having low boiling point. For example, तुम्ही जी पंप करताय स्टीम, समजा तुम्ही इथं 80 डिग्री सेल्सिअस पर्यंत हीट करू शकत असाल, तुम्ही असं लिक्विड सिलेक्ट करा ज्याचा बॉइलिंग पॉइंट 80 डिग्री सेल्सिअस आहे. There are plenty of liquids which are having boiling points like 50 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees Celsius, 60 degrees Celsius. So those liquids are used as secondary liquids. So what happens, even if inside the heat exchanger, let's say the temperature is 70, so this liquid will get converted from liquid phase to vapor phase. Now this vapor is given to a turbine which will drive the turbine shaft. Tell me very honestly, is it clear to you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
See why it is called as binary. You have heard these words, binary. What is meaning of word bi? Bi.
Two.
Two. We say like bicycle because it is having two wheels. That's why it is called as bicycle. If there is single wheel, it is called as monocycle. Right? Okay, anyway. So bi means two. As it is using two liquids, it is called as binary cycle power plant. Now see, in a binary cycle power plant, the heat of hot water is transferred to another liquid which is called as secondary liquid. Now see, this is hot water or this is steam, this is hot water, and see the liquid which is flowing through this circuit is called as secondary liquid, right? What is the condition while selecting secondary liquid? Can anyone tell me? What is the condition while selecting secondary liquid?
The boiling point
Boiling
of liquid will be low.
Excellent. The boiling point of secondary liquid must be low. Very good. Now see, the heat of hot water causes liquid to convert into steam, and this steam is used to drive the steam turbine. Right? Now, it is most recent developed power plant which may be operated at lowest temperature. Right? The least temperature limit is 57 degrees Celsius. So this power plant can operate even if the temperature of water which is from the production well is 57 degrees Celsius, right? But the temperature has to be at least 57 degrees Celsius. The secondary liquid, right, which is used in this binary cycle will have much lower boiling point than water. So tell me, any difficulty in binary cycle power plant? I believe
No,
that
sir.
working of binary cycle power plant is clear to you. So we have seen what is a geothermal power plant, and we have seen three types of power plants. Geothermal power plants, right? We have seen that magma is there which heats water, and the water can be as hot as 182 degrees Celsius or more, right? And we have seen that three geothermal power plants we have seen. One is a dry steam, one is flash steam, and one is binary steam. So tell me, what are the temperature limits when you will be using dry steam power plant?
Uh, 150 degree.
150.
Excellent, excellent. 150 and more. When you will be using flash power plant?
90 and
80
more.
to 60.
80 to 150.
80
Okay.
to 150.
And if the temperature is less than 80, we'll go for binary cycle power plant.
Binary.
Okay. Now see, these are the advantages of geothermal power plant. It is independent of weather condition. That is there. It may be summer, it may be winter, right? It may be rainy season, but the temperature inside the earth crust, that will remain same. It has no thermal storage facility required. It needs very less area, no pollution, right? In case of all renewable energy sources, there is no pollution, right? What are the disadvantages? Now see, along with that water, there will be contamination of different things like H2A, CO2, ammonia, methane, right? Because you are pumping that water from Earth's crust. So these components can be there, and in case if these components are there, you have to separate these components. Then There can be corrosion due to presence of salt, right? You are pumping water from earth surface, right, subsurface, so there can be presence of salt, right? And you know that whenever salt is there, there are bright chances of corrosion. Then life of these power plants is low. If you remove corrosion, life can be improved, right? Okay. Continuous extraction of fluid may cause settlement of land. This is also there. If you continuously pump steam, right, then it may cause settlement of the land. Then geothermal power plant constructed at site may adversely affect the land stability. There can be chances like landsliding and other things. So land stability is also one of the issue. Now see, I believe that this working is clear to you. Is it clear to you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. See what we'll do, we'll see one animation so that the concept will be more clear to you.
Thermal power plant. In this session, we will study the geothermal energy, review the history of geothermal power plant, study the working principle of a geothermal power plant, specify the advantages and disadvantages of a geothermal power plant. Geothermal energy is the heat energy acquired by the earth. Here, the source of the heat is earth, hence the name is geothermal. Heat inside the earth is available at a depth of more than 80 kilometers. In some locations, it is available at a depth from 300 to 3000 meters.
See, sublayer means the depth will be from 300 meters to 3 kilometers. So what is the range of depth for sublayer? Yes,
3,000 meters.
3,000 meter to
300
300.
to 3000. The depth will vary from 300 meters to 3000 meters. So your geothermal liquid will be pumped from the sublayer. Sublayer is the layer. Let's say if this is a surface and if this is subsurface, this depth can be vary from 300 meters to 3000 meters.
Such locations are referred to as geothermal fields. Geothermal energy.
So for geothermal fields, the depth varies from geothermal fields are the fields in which geothermal liquid is obtained. So what is the depth range for geothermal liquids?
300 to 3000.
Very good. 300 meters to 3000
Is
meters.
used for heating water, air conditioning, electricity generation, greenhouse heating.
Now see, you are having heat energy. So that heat energy can be used for plenty of purposes. It is not only used for electricity generation. It can be used for space heating. It can be used for air conditioning. It can be used for heating water. Right?
etc. History of geothermal power plant. The world's first geothermal power plant was built in the year 1911 in Larderello in Italy. Working principle of a geothermal power plant. There are three types of geothermal power plants. Let us study the working of each.
So which are the three types of geothermal power plant?
Dry steam
Dry
power
steam
plant,
Dry
Power
steam,
plant,
flash
power
flash
plant,
steam,
and
power
binary.
plant,
binary
binary
cycle power
cycle
plant.
power plant.
Correct. Very good. So there are three types. One is dry steam, one is flash steam, and one is binary. So tell me when I will go for dry steam power plant? When we should go for dry steam power plant?
When the temperature of liquid up to 150 degree.
Yes. When the temperature of the geothermal site is above 150 degrees Celsius, that when there is a dry steam, we should go for dry steam power plant. Excuse me. When should we go for flash steam power plant?
When
So
temperature
the
will
temperature
be
of
80 to
liquid
150
80 to
degrees Celsius.
150 degree.
Yes, when the temperature falls in the range of 80 to 150, right? So when the temperature is in this range, there will be wet steam. So if there is wet steam, I should separate moisture component. So in that case, I should use this device. That's why I should go for flash steam power plant. And when should we go for binary cycle power plant?
The temperature
Yes,
below
then
80 degrees
80
Celsius.
degrees
Very
Celsius.
good. The temperature is below 80.
First is the dry steam power plant. In this power plant, steam is generated directly from the geothermal reservoir. This steam is directly supplied to the turbine, which is coupled with the generator. The flow of steam causes the turbine to rotate. And because of this, the generator produces electric.
See, this is steam. This is given to a steam turbine. So what is the function of this steam turbine?
Heat energy is
To
converted
convert
into mechanical.
Converted energy into
Correct. Heat
mechanical
energy
energy.
into mechanical energy. Now see, as this is a dry steam power plant, directly we are pumping from the production well, directly we are pumping dry steam. So that dry steam is directly given to the steam turbine. And this steam turbine will convert that heat energy of the dry steam into mechanical energy. And see, this is your generator. This generator will convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. Right? So in a dry steam power plant, directly dry steam is pumped from the production well.
Energy. After rotating the turbine, steam goes through the condenser where it is converted into water. This water is called as condensate and it is injected back into the earth through the injection well.
So this is injection well and this is production well. So tell me, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so this is
Yes, sir.
dry steam power plant. Okay, this is dry steam power plant where the temperature of steam which is piped through the production well is above 150 degrees Celsius. So this steam is directly given to the steam turbine, right? Then given to generator, turbine is coupled to generator, right?
Natural dry steam hydrothermal reservoirs are very rare. The next type is the flash steam power plant. This type is used where there is an availability of geothermally heated water at a high temperature of over 350 Fahrenheit. This water is called as brine and it is transferred to a vessel where steam is generated.
Now see, look at this. This is separator.
This steam drives the turbine coupled with the generator to produce electricity.
Now see here, this is nothing but a device where moisture is separated from the steam. Now see, moisture is dragged down from this pipe and dry steam is given to the steam turbine, right? So inside this steam turbine, already we have discussed, there is conversion of heat energy into mechanical energy. And this is your generator, which converts that mechanical energy into electrical energy. And this is outlet of the turbine, right, which is given to condenser, and after condensing this is given to injection well. So this is production well, this is injection well, right, and this is the vessel which is used for separating moisture from the steam.
The waste brine is injected back into the earth. Last is binary cycle power plant. This is used when the geothermal resource is at lower temperature of up to 100 Fahrenheit. Here, the hot water is passed to a heat exchanger which is combined with the secondary liquid with a lower.
See, this is a heat exchanger in which there is a liquid which is having very low boiling point. So what will happen? That will get boiled and that steam is given to the steam turbine, right? And that steam turbine is coupled with a generator. So I believe that this concept is clear to you. So we have seen three. Which are those? We have seen three geothermal power plants. Which are those?
Dry steam, flash steam, and binary.
Excellent. Dry steam, flash steam, and binary power plant.
Thermal and nuclear power plants need fuel to produce electricity.
Now let us discuss advantages and disadvantages of geothermal power plant. If you talk about thermal power stations, right? Like our conventional thermal power station, what is the fuel required?
Coal.
Coal. It can be coal or oil, but generally we don't use oil, we use coal. Okay. Also, there are some locations where we use oil also. We use oil for combustion. But there are very few locations where we use oil-fired boilers. Generally, we use coal-fired boilers. Okay. So if it is a thermal power plant or if it is a nuclear power plant, tell me, in nuclear power plant, which fuel is required?
Nuclear fuel.
Which are the different nuclear fuels available? Yes. कोणकोणते न्यूक्लियर फ्युएल आपण बघितले होते? 3 बघितले होते. वन इज एनरिच्ड युरेनियम 235. सेकंड इज
Thorium.
थोरियम. Very good. Next,
Plutonium.
excellent, plutonium, right? So if you use nuclear power plants, you will use nuclear fuel. If you use thermal power plants, you will need thermal fuels, right? Like coal or oil.
Whereas geothermal plants
See, in all renewable power plants, which are based on renewable energy, we don't need any fuel. Take example of a solar power plant, take example of a wind power plant, take example of a geothermal power plant, take example of a hydroelectric power plant. So we don't need fuel. So operating cost of all these plants is less. Tell me very honestly, is it clear to you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Can I make a statement that operating cost of all power plants which uses renewable energy is very low? Can I make this statement?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
I
sir.
can do it. Right? We can say that operating cost of all power plants which use renewable energy is less.
plant does not need any fuel for production of electricity. Ultimately, this saves expenses on fuel. Geothermal plant does not pollute the environment.
See, this is common to all renewable power plants. They do not pollute environment. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All of them are eco-friendly. Take example of a solar power plant, wind power plant, hydroelectric power plant, right? Just now we have seen geothermal power plant, right? They are eco-friendly.
It requires minimum land space compared to the other plants. However, geothermal power plant has some disadvantages. As geothermal fields are not available,
Now see, what is the main condition for a geothermal power plant? Yes. If you want to install a geothermal power plant, what is the first thing that will come in your mind?
Geothermal fields.
Excellent. Availability of geothermal fields. जसं आपण हायड्रोइलेक्ट्रिक पॉवर प्लांटचं डिस्कस केलं होतं. Right? If I want to have a hydroelectric power plant in Baramati, I cannot have. But if I want a hydroelectric power plant in Koina, yes, I can have. Because the requirement for hydroelectric power plant is site selection. The necessary condition is that water must be available at high heads. In that case only I can think of a hydroelectric power plant. Similarly, in geothermal power plant, see, if you look at a global scenario, in US, plenty of geothermal power plants are there, right? Because of the availability of the geothermal fields over there. So the basic condition for a geothermal power plant is availability of the geothermal fields. They are not available universally, right? They are very rare.
universally, these power plants are found rarely. The cost of infrastructure and drilling is also very high.
See, in case of all renewable power plants, the initial cost is high. You can take example of a solar power plant, you can take example of a wind power plant, you can take example of a hydroelectric power plant, you can take example of this geothermal power plant. Even if operating cost is very low, the initial costs are comparatively very high. So I believe that this concept is clear to you. So any difficulty with this? Is it clear to you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
So we
sir.
have seen about geothermal power plant. Now we will just take your 15 minutes and we will discuss about wind power plant. Okay. Now see, what are the components in a wind power plant? Tell me what we do in a wind power plant. Yes.
Wind energy converted into mechanical energy.
Excellent. Wind energy gets converted into electrical energy. Whenever we say power plant, we generate electricity. So in a wind power plant, we convert or we absorb kinetic energy of wind, right? And using that, using the absorbed kinetic energy of wind, we generate electricity. Now let us discuss what are the different components of a wind power plant. See, this is your wind power plant. This is nothing but a structure on which these wind blades are situated. So can you read this name?
Yes, sir.
Blade.
It is somewhat blurred. You can see this is blade. See, these are the blades, right? They are mounted on this. What is the name of this?
Wind turbine.
Wind.
Wind turbine.
Wind turbine. So this is wind turbine. Okay. What is the name of this?
Hub.
Hub, right? So wind blades are mounted on the wind hub and this total assembly is called as wind turbine. Now see, what is the name of this?
Transmission.
Electrical.
Transmission.
Yes, it is transmission, right? Where the speed is increased. So here we have used in the transmission system, we use a gearbox. Using the gearbox, we increase the speed. Okay. Drive shaft, clutch, coupling. So all these assembly, transmission assembly is inside this transmission box. And what is the name of this? Can you read this?
Electrical
Electrical
generator.
generator.
Yes, electrical generator. This is coupled to this shaft. So what will be function of electrical generator?
Generate energy, kinetic energy of wind into electronics energy.
Yes, see, we'll go one by one. See, when wind will strike on the blade will rotate. It is mounted on the hub. This is connected to a shaft. So here there is generation of mechanical energy. Now see, the shaft speed is very low. So what we do, we increase the speed using transmission system, right? So here mechanical energy is available at high speed, right? And the function of generator is to convert this mechanical energy into electrical energy. We'll see one by one. So initially tell me, are the components clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
we'll see the components one by one. Initially, we'll see turbine blades. So generally 2 or 3 blades are there, right? These blades of wind turbine is connected with the shaft, right? We have seen that turbine blades are mounted on the hub and hub is connected to the shaft. Then there are brakes. The function of brakes is to control speed of the blades and prevent damage during cyclones. If there is cyclones, if wind is blowing at an extreme high speed, what will happen? The blades will rotate at very high speed, right? And that may cause damage to the whole wind turbine. So in order to prevent that, we use brakes. So the function of brakes is to control the speed of the blades, right? Then there is gearbox. The main function of gearbox to increase speed of the generator shaft that is required for maximum power generation from the generator. See, using gears, what we do? Yes, using gears, we can increase the speed or decrease the speed. Have you heard this word before, gear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
In vehicles, we use gear. Let's say we are climbing uphill. आपण उंचावरती चाललोय, टेकडीवरती चाललोय. आपण गाडी कोणत्या गिअरवर घेतो रे?
First, second.
Yes, first or second, right? Let's say you are on an express highway, right? So you will put your vehicle in which gear?
5 or 6.
Yes, last gear, fifth or sixth, right? So tell me what exactly you are doing. Using gear, you are controlling the speed. मला सांगा बरं, आपण अपहिल वरती फर्स्ट गिअर वरच गाडी का घेतो रे?
What, sir?
ऑन अपहिल, जेव्हा आपण उंचावर चाललोय का टेकडीवर आपण चाललोय समजा, राईट? वी कीप द व्हेकल ऑन फर्स्ट गिअर और सेकंड गिअर. टेल मी व्हाय वी डू दिस? In the first gear or second gear, speed is very low, no?
Yes, sir.
Then which component is high? Yes. Okay, have you heard about this equation? The relation between speed and torque. Do you know the concept of torque? Just tell me, do you know the concept of torque? See, it is very simple. I will elaborate. मी एक्सप्लेन करतो, अगदी सोपा कन्सेप्ट आहे. टॉर्क म्हणजे काय असतं रे? टॉर्क हा शब्द ऐकलाय का? हॅव यू हर्ड दिस वर्ड टॉर्क?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you have heard that. In physics, that term is there, torque. You have heard force, torque, couple, right? Tell me, what is torque? See, it is force into radial distance. Anyway, just remember a simple thing. When we reduce the speed, the torque increases. Power is equal to 2 pi nt upon 60. Your engine is producing constant power. असं नाही की तुम्ही उंचावर चाललाय म्हणून तुमचं इंजिन जास्त पॉवर तयार करते, असं नाही. पण उंचावर चालल्यानंतर तुम्ही गाडी फर्स्ट मध्ये ठेवता. फर्स्ट मध्ये ठेवल्यामुळे तुम्ही स्पीड रॅन्डमली कमी करता आणि एन कमी झाल्यामुळे टी वाढतो. पॉवर इज इक्वल टू 2 pi nt upon 60. When n reduces, t increases. When n reduces, t increases. So you increase the torque. When you are climbing uphill, you need more torque. Tell me very honestly, is it clear to you? See, I will tell you a very simple example. How to reduce the speed and how to increase the speed. Let's say this is a gear, this is a gear. Both are having same diameters. Let's say this is rotating with a speed 60 rpm. What will be speed of this gear? Let's say this is driving gear, this is driven gear. दोघांचाही डायमीटर सेम आहे. याचा स्पीड 60 rpm आहे. याचा स्पीड किती असेल रे?
60.
60. Is it clear to all of you? ह्याचा डायमीटर आणि ह्याचा डायमीटर जर सेम असेल, हा 60 rpm नी, हा एका मिनिटामध्ये 60 रिव्होल्यूशन्स परफॉर्म करतोय. This will also perform 60 revolutions in a minute. Now let's say that this is your driving gear, its diameter is quite high, and this is your driven gear. Its diameter is half as that of the driving gear. Now tell me, if this performs 60 rpm, right? What will be rpm of this driven gear?
More than
If the
60.
diameter of driven gear is half as that of the driving gear. Yes?
More than 60.
120.
More than 60. Excellent. It will be 120. त्याच्यामध्ये एक साधं रिलेशन आहे. D1 N1 is equal to D2 N2. तुमचा डायमीटर निम्मा झाला की स्पीड दुप्पट होतो तुमचं. जे डायमीटर कमी केला की स्पीड काय केला? वाढवला. Tell me honestly, is it clear to you? At this moment, you just remember this, that choosing by selecting diameters of driving and driven gear, we can vary the speed. Tell me very honestly, to some extent, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's say this is running at 60 rpm and I want driven gear to run at 30 rpm. What should I do? माझा ड्रायव्हिंग गिअर 60 rpm ने रोटेट होतोय आणि मला ड्रिव्हन गिअरला 30 rpm एवढा स्पीड हवा आहे. व्हॉट शुड आय डू?
दुप्पट घ्यायचं त्याच्या.
Yes, excellent, very good. This kind of approach should be there. The diameter of driven gear should be twice as that of the driving gear. If you can understand this, I assure you that you are going to become very good engineers, because this kind of grasping is expected from engineers. Okay, anyway, see, just remember that using gearbox, we can vary the speed, right? Okay. Now see, which components we have seen? We have seen turbine blades, right? What is the function of turbine blades? They are mounted on the hub, right? And they convert kinetic energy of wind into mechanical energy. Then there are brakes. Tell me, what is the function of brakes?
To control the speed of blades.
So tell me, why it is required to control the speed of blades?
To
When there
prevent
is a storm,
from damage.
Excellent. To prevent them from damage during cyclones. During rainy season, sometimes the wind blow with very high speeds, right? So that can damage the turbine. So for that, to maintain the speed, we use brakes. Now tell me, what is the function of gearbox? Yes. The
To manage the
gearbox
speed.
is used to increase the speed. Because see here, have you seen wind turbine? तुमच्यात कोणी विंड टर्बाईन बघितलंय? साताऱ्याच्या जवळ चाळकेवाडी वगैरे एरिया आहे बघा, किंवा बऱ्याच ठिकाणी असतात आजकाल, बऱ्याच ठिकाणी विंड टर्बाईन्स आहेत. पण काही अशा स्पेशल साइट्स असतात की जिथे प्लेंटी ऑफ थाउजंड्स ऑफ विंड टर्बाईन्स आर देअर. So if you have seen that wind turbine, these wind blades, they rotate at extreme low speeds. So the speed of this shaft is very less, right? Now see that low speed will not be useful for the generation of electricity. So what you have to do, you have to increase the speed of the shaft. And to increase the speed of the shaft, we use gearbox. So using gearbox, we increase speed of the shaft. Okay. Then this increased speed is given to generator. What is the function of generator? Yes.
Convert mechanical energy into electrical energy.
Excellent. To convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. Now see, wind energy, we'll see the working. It is byproduct of sun energy. I will not go into details of this, but this is a very interesting topic. One day we'll discuss about this. How all renewable energy sources are linked with the solar energy. Every renewable energy source is linked with the solar energy. Okay, anyway, just remember this, that winds are caused by sun. Winds are caused due to temperature difference. Just remember this. Okay. Then converting kinetic energy of wind into mechanical energy, and then this mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. This is the simple working of a wind turbine. We convert kinetic energy into mechanical energy, and then we convert this mechanical energy into electrical energy. Tell me very honestly, is this concept clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see the components are very simple. They are like wind turbine or turbine blades, then brake, gearbox and generator. Okay, what are the advantages? Fuel free, right? Inexhaustible, eco-friendly, cost of electricity generation, that is operating cost is very low, right? Then maintenance cost is there, right? Wind energy is one of the fastest growing sectors. See, there are plenty of organizations which are contributing a lot to wind energy sector. That's why this is one of the fastest growing sectors in the energy sector. So wind sector is the fastest growing sector in the energy sector. What are the disadvantages? As we have discussed, that for all renewable energy sources, initial cost is high. Then to set the turbine, right? Initially you have to do survey. विंड टर्बाईन्स असेच बसवत नाहीत, 5-5 वर्ष ते सर्वे करतात, वेगवेगळ्या क्लायमेटिक कंडिशन्सला ते सर्वे करतात, थ्रू आउट द इयर ते सर्वे करतात, त्याचे ते चार्ट्स प्रोड्यूस करतात, आणि त्याच्यानंतर ते डिसिजन घेतात की तिथे किती मेगावॅटचं विंड टर्बाईन बसवायचं आणि विंड टर्बाईन बसवायचं किंवा नाही बसवायचं आहे. सो सर्वे इज द मेन कॉम्पोनंट while installing the wind turbine. Okay, now see, if the bird collides with the blades, right? If a bird collides on the wind blades, definitely the bird population will get reduced, right? As the bird may die. Now see, noise pollution is also one of the disadvantage, and wind power plant is only useful for the countries with coastal or hilly areas. Generally, it is a prediction that in coastal areas or hilly areas, the wind intensity is comparatively substantial. It is very high. So tell me, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can I just take 5 minutes? I just want to show you an animation which is for wind turbine. Or should we see this in next lecture? Okay, fine. We will stop here. Maybe in next lecture we will see that.